Welcome to today's adventure talking about food allergies, my current food allergies, and this is heavily subject to change. Over the past about 2 years, I have had a wide range of random allergies just spontaneously happen, and I have theories about it, my own conspiracy theories about it, that I don't know if it's true or not, but just my own anecdotal evidence for myself. So here we go. So for the longest time, my dad has always said we're allergic to walnuts. I did get tested. They said I'm not, but that I'm highly sensitive to it. So I don't really care. Like, at the end of the day, it still causes a problem that I don't want to deal with. So some people get really bad canker sores when you eat walnuts, and I get that, and I get tingling sensation in like my throat and my mouth when I eat walnuts. So I don't eat them, either variety. There's like a white brand or something, and then like black English or some really weird names. There's 2 variations. I didn't know that. I don't eat walnuts. I haven't like my entire life. Once in a blue moon I have them, and then you end up with like 15 canker sores. So not worth it. So technically not an allergen, but I do actively avoid it at all costs because it is so not worth having sores for weeks. Next is also in the technically not an allergen category, but also causes me problems that I don't like to deal with, and that is meat. So I talked about this last time, but also like there's the gross factor of it, just like the biggest ick, and I don't understand what psychopath doesn't understand that. Like, I don't know what mental gymnastics you can do, but I can't do it. Like, it was a living creature, and like I can't imagine picking up a cat and eating a cat or a dog, and yet it's fine if it's a different creature. That has bothered me my whole life. It's like, you're literally eating their organs. You can see their tendons, their bones, oh my god. But we draw the line at eating other humans. That's where the line's at. Okay, sure. Like, to me it's the same. And so I've always hated it. And once in a while I have given in to peer pressure about it. But like, my body doesn't love it, you know? Like, I always get such like stomach aches and bloating, and you look pregnant. Like, your stomach is just not down for it. And I do better on a high fiber diet. Well, higher than the average person diet. And I don't know if that's why, or if it's a bit of like the brain power of like you're icked out eating it and then it's in your body and you're like, but like I don't do meat. I avoid it. I used to not care so much about cross-contamination, but anymore I have to worry about it so much for everything else. It's like, just add it. You know what? Morally, I am not cool with cross-contamination. Just don't do it. Because I have to worry about it for other things anyways, so already don't cross-contaminate. That's just another reason not to. And the last of they say I'm technically not allergic, but this one I beg to differ. So I got tested for pineapples, and again, it was the same thing with walnuts, that you just are overly sensitive to it. But I'm gonna be real, I don't think a sensitivity, and when I've looked it up, the oral allergy syndrome, I guess is what it's technically called, is what I have, where your body sees food as a pollen and it reacts to it, thinking it's the pollen and not something else. But like, because I'm allergic to weed pollens, and specifically ragweed and mugwort are my big ones. And so, but when you look into it, they don't know. Like, I asked my doctor for a specific list of everything. She's like, well, here's like some of the major ones. I'm like, okay. And she's like, you can just Google the rest. I'm like, all right. So I did that. Me and Google have argued about this. And if they're going to have AI as their main thing, I'm going to argue with it because, oh my God, and trying to go through every website, nobody knows what they're doing. So sometimes it counts. It can trigger your oral allergy syndrome, even if the food itself you're technically not allergic to, but your body sees the protein and it's like, oh my God, actually you're eating pollen and you're going to die by our own hand. And so I think it's more in that category. I don't think it's just the sensitivity to it, but I have the sensitive side where it feels like I'm eating glass if I have it. My gums start bleeding pretty excessively, and I have a bleeding disorder, so that's not a great combo. But also, and this is where it moves into more of the allergy thing, I get really intense, like deep, like bone itching. Like, your throat tingles, it itches. your limbs, your legs, everything starts itching really bad. I've had anaphylaxis before. That was one of the lead-up symptoms, so I just don't mess with pineapple at all. Technically, she said I'm not my doctor, but I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I'm not gonna play that game though, because again, I don't like those symptoms. And I don't have that. I can eat an apple and I'm fine. I don't have bleeding gums. I don't have itching. So I'm not gonna eat something that causes these weird symptoms. So those are my like technically not allergens. Now here's my actual allergies. Cucumber. Why? Why do I not get to have cucumber anymore? I loved pickles. I miss them deeply. I can't have cucumber because of course not. Why? That sucks really a lot for pickles specifically. I love pickles. And like, don't get me wrong, a cucumber in a salad's nice, but like I could just straight up eat an entire jar of pickles and I would be so happy. It was my favorite food. You're cooking dinner, you're hungry, just eat a pickle. Just eat a whole jar of pickles. They're like next to no calories, they taste amazing, life is good. Pickles for the win. And now I'm allergic, of course. And there's no real replacement. The closest we found is like jalapeno. It's not the same. It's not the same. And then also, I can't have dill, so really can't have pickles, which sucks. Because that was one of my ones. I mentioned it in the last video. Some of these allergens I've tested on like definitely safe foods. So like we tried that with like an egg. We just put, because I've had eggs totally on their own as kind of my base food because it's not a plant. And when I need to make sure it's not a plant, that I'm like, you know, combining which one is which. Sometimes I'll use egg as my like base. I don't like to very often. That's why I say I'm like 98% vegan. Because sometimes the food allergy does have to take precedence over morals and such. And so we tried that with dill. I had a plain egg and then I had an egg with dill. And then guess what? Can't have dill. For freaking sakes. Why? Why? Like, it's such a stupid random one. But no, I really cannot have pickles. I guess I overdid it in my life because I love pickles and now pickles hate me. So that sucks. Continuing on the this really sucks categories, we have onion. Because why not? Now this is where one of my health conspiracies kick in. Because I have been having stomach problems for so long. It started almost immediately after I had my appendix explode and had to have that surgery to clean all of that up. And from then on, I have had stomach problems. And I think this allergy has been going on since then. It's just been mild because all of the things that I thought, I really thought it was tomatoes because they're so like acidic and like they're just pretty intense, honestly. And so I thought it was them for the longest time, but no. It was freaking onion. Every single thing that I had issues with also had onion. And now I'm like super actually allergic to it. And I'm fine with tomatoes. I can eat a tomato just fine on its own. But you mix it with onion, no. And I would have horrible, horrible acid reflux. And my stomach would just get these cramps that would last for days. And I could only have like certain foods and just drink a lot of water and just mostly just wait it out until my stomach would figure itself out. And I really think it was related to the allergy. I tried to get help medically for years for that, and finding out these food allergies, I think it relates because my early symptoms with garlic and onion I've had for a long time. And now they've just progressed into a full allergy, but they started the same. And I'm like, ooh, I should have known. You know, like I tried to get help for so long, and honestly, doctors are sometimes the most unhelpful people to ever exist. You just gotta do your own research, and then they just confirm it mostly, kind of. So I used to get really bad acid reflux, and that's how it started. I used to get stomach pain, that's how it started. And then now it's progressed into a full allergy, coughing, sneezing, awful, gross. I feel like you're gonna die. And so, yeah, onion, can't have that. Recently, it upgraded to include garlic because, of course, I made the horrible mistake of licking the edge of, like, I poured, like, spaghetti sauce and then I licked the edge. Oh, my tongue burned. Like, and it was, like, shelf label. Like, it's not hot. And my tongue burned like I had just, like, licked the hot stove for, like, 2 days after I had garlic, like, a garlic sauce. And it was like a roasted garlic Prego sauce thing. And yeah, that was bad. And since then we've tested it, and sure enough, every single time. Like, I even smelled bread that we had made with garlic. Oh my God, it triggered me. I'm like, I am so this sensitive, I can't smell bread. Wow, this sucks. And so, can't have garlic. It joined the club. And then my final major allergy that I have to worry about, that I know of as of current, is dairy. And when I did the allergy test, normally techs and stuff, nurses, MAs, whatever you got at the doctor's office, whatever their label, the not doctor who's in the room, mostly like doing most of the work for you, they're not supposed to say much. But this one, she did the allergy test, and when it came to the milk one, she's like, I can tell you, I can confirm that you are allergic. I'm like, great. Enough so that the doctor prescribed me an EpiPen for that one. And so, yeah, really, I can't like, the cross-contamination with dairy is so intense. Like, I can't do it. I will so much get symptoms. So I worry, even like going to like get like coffee places, I worry so much about cross-contamination. Like, I have to tell them, like, no, I'm not lactose intolerant. Like, I'm allergic. I will have an allergic reaction. I've got an EpiPen for it. Can you please make sure to really like use different utensils and clean? And then you're like such a pain, and I feel bad for doing that, so I just don't like to go out anymore. And so like I get worried, even like if I wanted to like stop by like a coffee shop or something, like I would be so afraid to go and have to worry about that. And like, again, even like in the house, like my husband, again, he can't have a lot of fiber, so he does have like cheese, and so it's like when I touch that, I have to immediately like wash my hands, and it's such a pain. It's such a pain to have allergies. But yeah, those are my current allergies that I know of that I am working around. I did test for on my own, because really that's the thing with this, the oral allergy syndrome thing or whatever. I think that's what it's called. My doctor had a really thick accent, so it's kind of hard to judge what she was saying. And so Googling it, that's the thing that usually comes up the most. And I think that's what she said. But the test papers shows that it's like, you're allergic to weed pollens and ragweed and mugwort in particular. And so basically with this, it can happen with whatever. There is no list. That's the thing that sucks. I have tried every single, I swear, allergy site ever. Nobody has a true list. And eventually you just hit the wall of nobody knows. You're just gonna be unique. Some people are gonna have a problem, some people aren't. Some people, you're gonna eventually have to do allergy shots, but they can also cause like some pretty substantial bleeding, and as a bleeding disorder patient, I'm avoiding that as long as possible. So I'm just gonna not have foods. And I can still have soy, I can still have beans, I can still have rice, I can have potatoes, I'm good. Everything else is just, that's a bonus, but like I can live off those things. You know, it would suck, not gonna lie, but I can live. And so, you know, these feel like very intense, and my dad is constantly convinced that I'm gonna die. But it's like, no, I'm good. Like, malnutrition is not a thing. Like, I'm good. You can live off of potatoes and rice and beans. You're not gonna die. Like, it's fine. And I eat other things. I can have other fruits and vegetables. I just have these really random specific ones, but again, they're in like everything. So I have to be so careful. And I just have to cook for myself, and perhaps the list will get longer. I mean, again, it's garlic. I was fine a couple months ago, and it grew to a point of being a problem. But also, I've also had my symptoms prior of I would sneeze or cough, and that was like my sign. But before then, it was acid reflux and heartburn, and it just feels like you're breathing fire, and your stomach just hurts for days. And you're nauseous, and you get headaches, and it was food allergies this whole effing time. Who knew? So if you also are having really random food things, maybe my crazy diet will apply to you, or at the very least, it will give you motivation to figure out your own weird system of what you need to do. But this is my current ones that I know of, the foods I'm actively avoiding, and again, it's mostly a vegan diet. But sometimes if I need to test like a specific food, again like dill, having a control food helps substantially, so I'll always have that as a backup, but I don't like to do it very often. Because again, the heart, my soul, I'm vegan, but sometimes you do just have to actually eat and be able to do things. And I know I could do it in other ways, but when you're really trying to test plant allergies, it's hard to do it with plants. So, like 98% vegan. Again, that's my exception. And then of course, like, I don't care. Like, my car's steering wheel's probably leather, and you know, the other 1% of like, where most vegans are like, who cares, dude? It's fine. So anyways, these are my food allergies, and I will update this with another video if I have more to add. But currently these are the ones that I know I cannot have. And I literally have a note on my phone to make sure I keep track of all of the things. Most of the time I just list up here all the time because you're constantly checking labels, but you know, as it adds, it's gonna add, you know? So anyways, thank you for listening to my rambles today. If you have food allergies, I am so sorry, dude, it sucks. We are in this together because, oh, it's so much fun, isn't it? You know, we're just gonna get really good at cooking really weird stuff. So if you also need some of these recipes, here they are. Your food taste might be different than mine, but maybe it'll help. So until next time, thank you for listening. Links and stuff in the doobly-doo, as Vlog Brothers would say. And until next time, I'll see y'all soon.